In action on Tuesday evening as they soar off Grimsby Town on penalties in the EFL Trophy. There are two changes to that side, with Josh Wilson-Esbrand and Farid Alfa-Ruprecht starting this evening, the latter having been an unused substitute for the first team at Spurs in the Carabao Cup on Wednesday. The two who make way, Seb Naylor and Justin Aboado, are both on the bench. And the visitors, meanwhile, make 4 changes following their 3-0 defeat to Sunderland. Tom Finch is in goal, and then they've got Manning, Forbes and Aguero who start this evening. Dan Aguero, who was part of the City Academy during his development years, but moved to Norwich a couple of seasons ago. So City, off the back of 6 victories in a row, will be looking to consolidate their position at the top of the Premier League 2 table. They're up against a Norwich side who've won 3 of their last 4 away games in Premier League 2, and also won here 6-0 last December, which is actually the last time that the Blues lost at home in Premier League 2. Those of you who are unfamiliar with the under-21s, the elite development squad, rest assured they play in a very similar way to the first team. Similar passages of play, similar possession-based game, and always looking to play through the thirds. They've lost the ball there, but the shot from Brandon Forbes lacked power, and it's a very comfortable gather for Oliver Watmough, who made his Premier League 2 debut last week against West Bromwich Albion and is in the goal again tonight. Already some little touches that I'm sure would have impressed you. Here's Alfa-Ruprecht on the bench on Wednesday at Spurs, did not get the nod, while of course Jemai Simpson-Posey and Jacob Wright did. Nico O'Reilly started. There was a whole stack of academy graduates in the City squad who got game time on Wednesday evening. Almost goes without saying, Phil Foden and Rico Lewis, and then Jemai Simpson-Posey, Jacob Wright, Nico O'Reilly, James McAtee. Incredible, really. Just proof positive that when you have a place in the City Academy, you are always being looked at as a potential future first-team player. And it is one of the reasons that Ben Wilkinson will be in close contact with Pep Guardiola. They often train together, become familiar with each other's nuances, and it means that when the nod does come to a young player, he isn't overawed in terms of the style of play when they have the opportunity to promote to the first team. And who knows, with City's injury crisis as it is at the moment, it might well be that quite a few of Ben Wilkinson's squad may well feature for Pep Guardiola in the next couple of weeks. Max Allain just chesting it back to Oliver Watmough, the youngest player on the pitch today, only 16 years old, the goalkeeper. Talking of players who played for Pep Guardiola's first team, on the bench this evening is Caden Braithwaite, who you may remember became the 3rd youngest ever City first team debutant when he played Watford back in September. Nicola Kiki winning the City throw. And here's Stephen Mfuni, same age as Oliver Watmough, just 16. Indeed, City's oldest players are 19, Max Allain, Michael Okiki, Emilio Lawrence, of course. So Josh Wilson-Esbrand is 21. I beg his pardon. He is the exception. Had a lot of senior football last season. Josh Wilson-Esbrand on loan at Reims in the French Liga, and also for Cardiff City in the Championship. Norwich prevent the corner, but it is a throw. Nidal for Utrecht, picking out Jaden Heskey. So Norwich managed to get that one out of harm's way. Well, it is ironic that the last time City lost a home game in Premier League 2 was against tonight's opponents. But that was in December of 2023. So here come the visitors with Forbes. On it goes to Mahovo. And the cross goes out for a corner. Took a little deflection on the way through. Premier League 2 is one big super division of 26 teams. So there are quite a few teams whose first team aren't in the Premier League, of course Norwich being one of them. It's a good corner. City will get it away, but not without a little discomfort. Here's Finch. It's only his second appearance of the season. The goalkeeper. They come into this game with 9 points from their opening 7 matches, Norwich. Last season they finished above the Blues in the Premier League 2 table. They finished 18th, the Blues 22nd. And if you're unfamiliar with the brand new format of Premier League 2, I mentioned 26 teams in it. It's the top 16 who go through to the end of season playoffs. So the team who finishes first will play the team who finishes 16th and so on. But that's over in the spring of 2025, so some way off at the moment. Let's concentrate on what's going on here as the Blues come forward with Josh Wilson-Esbrand, who wins the game's first corner. Good rampaging run from Wilson-Esbrand. City do like to play their corners short. It's a bit of a loose one, but it will remain in City possession. Here's the graceful Elaine. Brings in Alpha Uprecht on towards Dixon. Norwich get it away, but not particularly far. Shot comes in from Lawrence, but it was blocked before the goalkeeper needed to react. And Norwich get the verdict for the throw. Here's Warner. City win it back well through Charlie Gray. Here's Alpha Uprecht. Try to bring in Samuel. Lane. To Alpha Uprecht. Lovely ball. Alpha Uprecht puts on the afterburners, and he has found a way to open up some space, and then In came Gray. Didn't hit it cleanly enough, but was well set up by Alpha Ruprecht. A good set. Looked as though he'd been held up by Mahobo, but in the end, teed up Gray. Gray dragged it wide. Scored his first Premier League 2 goal last week against West Brom.
City handsome 5-0 winners against West Brom last week. If you look at their recent form, it's been exemplary. They lost the opening game of the season back on the 17th of August away at Liverpool. But since then, they won 3-2 at Derby, 5-0 at home to Everton, 3-1 away at United, 4-1 at home to Aston Villa, 4-1 at home to West Ham. And then the 5-0 win last weekend just cemented their position at the top of the Premier League 2 table. Here's Lawrence. Good burst from him. Good effort from him. And City lead. Well, they've been free scoring this season. 14 goals in their last 3 matches. And they're already on their way tonight. Emilio Lawrence. Just look at that little surging run and the left foot drive into the near post area. Unstoppable. He gets his 3rd goal of the season and the Blues are already in front here. And as the reaction of Emilio Lawrence tells you, it's as easy as that. What a start. They've been on top, the Blues, no question about that. Well, Norwich City haven't kept a clean sheet since March. They're not going to do so again tonight. Norwich have been in really good form away from home. They've won 3 of the last 4, 2 in a row. They won 4 of the last 6 on their travels. They are a team who don't do draws. This is their 2nd season in Premier League 2. They haven't drawn a single match. There are some teams who are draw specialists, not so our visitors tonight. All that said, they are certainly a side who play the game the right way. That's a mistake, but the confidence with which they've been moving the ball around has been easy on the eye. Here's Umfuni. Heskey. Jaden Heskey, his brother Regan Heskey's on the bench this evening. And I'm sure you've put 2 and 2 together and worked out who their father is. The former Liverpool and Leicester and England striker, O'Neill. Keeping things in the family.
And so far, Oliver Watmuff hasn't been stretched. Lane, Wilson Esbrand, Okiki, looked like a foul, it was. Tomkinson penalised. Yellow card. The referee was certainly graphic in his explanation as to why. And it's actually Ogwuru for kicking the ball away. So it's the former City Academy player up against his former chums who gets booked, not for the foul, that was by Tomkinson on Okiki, but for kicking the ball away. And of all the reasons to get booked, I would imagine the head coach will feel that's the most unnecessary. I'm sure Guru's particularly keen to put on a show today against the team where he grew up, part of the City Academy. That's Gray, tried to just slip it into Heskey, gathered in by Finch. Tackled by Alpha Ruprecht. Samuel leaves it for Lane, and Lane guides it back to Watmuff. Looking towards Dixon. Above his head, Heskey losing out to Bridge. Helped backwards by Mahovo, and further by Warner. And indeed, Tomkinson goes back to the goalkeeper, Finch. Warner again, and Finch once more. You can see that they certainly stick to their philosophy and principles. That was really nice, the way they escaped the City press to get themselves out of a tight spot. Here's G. Now Ogwuru. Mahovo. Here's Ogwuru again. It's a good ball. Oh, good chance. Bridge puts it over. That's the clearest sight of goal for the visitors. And, well, I think you would say he should have at least put it on target. He didn't. Having a good spell here, the visitors, probably buoyed by the creation of that opportunity. Just enjoying a spell of possession. Neat football, but in the end it ends in the arms of Watmuff. Incidentally, Emilio Lawrence, who put the Blues in front with that lovely strike, has been nominated for Player of the Month for October in Premier League 2. And he'll have done his cause no harm at all by showing on the first day of the new month exactly why he was nominated for his performances in the old month. At the moment, it's Norwich who are on top in terms of possession, but that pass to Aguero was far too heavily hit. Here's a lane. Alpha Precht in the challenge. It's a good tackle though. And Heskey. Gray helps it out to Lawrence. Wilson Esbrand taking a defender away, but in the end it was tidied up by Tompkinson. Header away by Umfuni. Samuel, nominally City's right back, but very much playing a la Rico Lewis in the extra midfield berth. Elaine, Dixon, Heskey, Alpha Precht, dangerous. Good defending in the end. Alpha Precht again. Heskey, Gray, Okiki, Lawrence. Okiki thinks about shooting and wins a corner. Well worked again by the Blues. Certainly invitingly into the path of Okiki. Always taking it away from goal though. And a second City corner. Ahead inside 22 minutes. Emilio Lawrence, the scorer. Again they go short with the corner. Gray. Looking for Alpha Precht, and that will be a goal kick. Finch. Tompkinson. It's got out of play, it has. Norwich a little wasteful in their possession. Here's Umfuni. Lane. Kick towards Alpha Precht, but Mahovo guiding it back to Finch. It's coolly done. Oh, I think that might be a foul by Alpha Precht, just tugging on the shirt of Jaden Warner. Had a good few minutes, the visitors. One golden opportunity put over the bar by Bridge. He's on the ball now. Forbes joins in. Jeje. Well picked off by Alpha Reprecht, and Heskey gives it him back. Alpha Reprecht turned into trouble. Here's Mahobo. JJ. Bridge. Tomkinson. G. Ogwuru. Manning. Nice rhythm to Norwich's play. Certainly not been a procession for the Blues so far. Here come the visitors again with Forbes. G. Forbes gives it him back. Mahobo. Warner. Bridge. Forbes with a layoff, brings in Mahobo. Really good spell for the visitors. City having to work hard out of possession. Mahobo. It's a good ball. That's a free kick right on the edge of the D. Gray's been penalised. He pleads to the referee, but the referee's not going to change his mind. It was Manning that tumbled over. And Norwich have a decent opportunity here. Forbes is eyeing this one up. And it was Gray that got in the way of it. Here's G. That's a good block by Heskey. So much so that it hits G and goes out for a goal kick. Well defended by the Blues. Initially with Gray getting in the way of the free kick, and then there, Heskey getting in the way of the cross. A bit lax, and Forbes will try. I think it deflected, it did. It just seemed to take a strange trajectory, the ball. Forbes bent it towards the far corner. Just seems to dip late, which suggests it took a deflection. And it is indeed a Norwich corner. Well, they've had a good 5 or 6 minutes, the visitors. Be against the run of play if Norwich were to equalise here. Remember, they've never had a draw in their entire Premier League 2 history away from home. It's certainly not an equaliser here, though. Sliding challenge by Samuel. The flag's up for offside. Here's Umfuni. Let's see if the Blues can wrestle the initiative back.
after a good few minutes for the away side. Here's Alpha Ruprecht. Samuel will take the throw. Elaine. Wilson Esbrand. Kiki. Wilson Esbrand and Funi. Elaine. Alpha Ruprecht. To slip it through to Heskey, and then Heskey upends Mahobo. Well, any thoughts that the Blues might run away with this after that early goal have certainly been dispelled by Norwich's confident play. Jeje. Tompkinson. It's given away, I think. Heskey will get to it. Wilson Esbrand. Gray. Samuel. Elaine. Mfuni. Gray. Elaine. Heskey. Alpha Ruprecht. City's turn to enjoy possession. Norwich's turn to retain their shape out of possession. Good run from Mfuni. And that's a free kick for the challenge on his heels. And a yellow card's on its way as well. That Mfuni is okay. Well, the Norwich protests are vehement. It's not going to change the referee's mind. Jeje is going into the notebook here. Referee did not like that challenge from the Norwich central midfielder. So a free kick to the Blues. It's optimistic to suggest it's in shooting range. So what are they going to cook up from this? Might just go short with it. They do. The referee says wait till I blow my whistle. Here's Gray. Samuel. Mfuni. Wilson Esbrand. Mfuni. Samuel. Gray. Heskey. Alpha Ruprecht. Right across the face of the goal. Probably aiming towards Dixon. Don't think that was an attempt on goal. The shape looked wrong for it to be a goal attempt. Yeah, it was aimed towards Dixon. He's unlucky. Can't read out for Ruprecht. A number of these players were part of Ben Wilkinson's FA Youth Cup winning side back in May. Indeed, Jaden Heskey in your picture was one of those who was at the Etihad Stadium when the Blues saw off Leeds. Another game we brought you live on City Plus. Got a whole stack of games for you in November, not least of which the under-18s tomorrow, backing up the under-21s tonight. And then on Tuesday afternoon, ahead of the men's visit to Lisbon, we've got the UEFA Youth League game in Lisbon against Sporting on Tuesday afternoon. Another note for your diary. Here come Norwich, though. Slipped in towards Mundell Smith. Kept out by Umfuni at the expense of a throw. Guru. Breaks for Bridge. Cross was a good one from Mahovo. I wonder if the referee might go back and brandish a card here. There was a City player who just left a late challenge on one of the Norwich players earlier in the build-up. I think the referee has gone to check on the well-being of the player who was fouled. Just a flea in the air, nothing more. But a Norwich corner, their second of the game. Oh, it was a dangerous one, wasn't it? Watmuth had to be at his absolute most concentrated there. Whipped in at pace. Watmuth did well. Norwich are ahead on the corner count. It's another whipped in one, and Watmuth takes it very tidily. And then he sends Okiki scurrying forward. An offside against Alpha Ruprecht. If you're just joining us, the Blues in front early through Emilio Lawrence. But, to be fair to the visitors, Norwich have certainly had plenty of possession since. Had one really good opportunity for Bridge, who put it over the bar. But, I think you have to say that this game's a pretty even one, and Norwich again looking. Mundell Smith wins a corner. Well, if the Blues can come through this spell unscathed, they'll have done very well. Elaine, the latest to put in a timely challenge. Norwich continuing to threaten an equaliser. Again, it's a deep one. This one headed forward by Tomkinson, but gathered easily by Watmuth. Here's Umfuni. Samuel. Out for a crack, Samuel. Lawrence, Gray, and Funny. Here's Heskey, looking for Alpha Ruprecht. It's a good old tussle. And in the end, the free kick goes the way of Mahovo, the Norwich left-back. Here's Bridge. Jeje. Mahovo. Warner. Done well by Wilson Esbrand. Brings in Gray. Alpha Precht and Heskey need to work something. Samuel finds a lane. He brings in Watmuff, and City will start again. Lane's overdone that, but he emerged with the ball. Here's Gray, and now Heskey, and now Alpha Precht. Heskey again. Gray. Okiki. Wilson Esbrand. Lawrence. Wilson Esbrand again. Okiki staying on side. Lawrence the same. Mfuni. Samuel. Nicely worked this. Can the Blues find a cross? No, they can't. Now for a track dispossessed by Mahova. You can't fail to be impressed with Norwich. They've certainly given as good as they've got. Probably shading possession. Here they come again with Forbes. Funi read the danger, got there in front of Manning. Here's Samuel. Elaine. Mfuni. So Bob Dixon. Warner. Tomkinson. Mahovo. Bridge. Ogwuru. There really is menace about Norwich's forward play. Here they come again. G with a little flick ball in. Alpha Precht is back there covering for the Blues. Nice skill to find Heskey, who was nudged by Manning. Difficult to argue with this decision from the referee. An arm on the back of Heskey. Now here comes Lawrence at the other end. Similar effort from earlier, different result. Finch going down to save from the goal scorer. Worked an angle well, did Emilio Lawrence. Couldn't dispatch it beyond the goalkeeper. Here's Jeje. Bridge. Forbes. Mahovo. Warner. Mahovo. Bridge. Mahovo. Couple of minutes to half-time. I think Ben Wilkinson will be quite happy to get his troops back into the dressing room so he can recalibrate the way this game has gone. They've been out of possession for long periods of the first half, have the Blues. And the referee gets a signal from his assistant to halt Ogwuru. Gray, Samuel, Elaine. Dixon's not going to reach that one. And here comes Warner. And now Ogwuru. Another good challenge just when City needed it. It's not away yet. Forbes working an angle. Okiki wins it back. Just caught by Manning. So the last seconds of the first half. City leading, but it has looked a very narrow lead throughout. Norwich have it's a good side. Wilson Esbrand. Stoppage time at the end of the first half. If the Blues can take their lead to half-time, it will have been a pretty good effort defensively. They've been impressed with the visitors this evening. City have had to work hard. Here's Wilson Esbrand. Okiki up towards Lawrence. Goalkeepers come out. Well, when City took the early lead through Emilio Lawrence, you might have been forgiven for thinking that this could be a comfortable night for City. In truth, it's been anything but. Norwich have been very impressive. The Blues have spent most of that first half in retreat. They've had to keep their clean sheet intact through plenty of endeavour and no little mental discipline either. So at half-time, it is a slender-looking lead. City 1, Norwich 0. Well, City lost to Norwich 6-0 last season. They're obviously not going to lose by that scoreline tonight, but the visitors will be feeling that they have the ability to break the Blues down. City had to be at their defensive, resilient best in the first half. They could certainly do with the security of a second goal, but in reality, they haven't really threatened a second goal. There's still a good 45 minutes to go to put that right. The Blues sitting top of the Premier League 2 table off the back of 6 straight wins. Norwich some way down the table in 18th with 9 points. Exactly half the number the Blues have gathered so far. As Umfuni spreads it over towards Jaden Heskey. I probably need to distinguish between the two Heskey brothers now. Here's Gray. Elaine. Samuel. Jaden Heskey. Samuel again. Promise about this move. Here's Alvaro Precht. And he wins the corner. Again, City preferring the short corner, and that's why Regan Heskey. Well, he's not been on the field more than a couple of minutes,
And the second goal I was alluding to and hoping for has duly arrived. What a start to the second half. Well, here's a terrific statistic for you. This is only the second time that Regan Heskey has played for City in Premier League 2. The first time he was in a City side that lost 6-0 to Norwich City. Now he's just scored against Norwich City. Talk about a contrast. And it's his first ever Premier League 2 goal as a consequence. Well, you might remember that he scored in the UEFA Youth League last season. It was a penalty. He's been a regular scorer for the under-18s. And now he's scored in Premier League 2. He was also on target away at Grimsby Town in the EFL Trophy on Tuesday night. Albeit that's an under-19 team, strictly speaking. Really is some impact that Regan Heskey has made. Sorry, I beg your pardon, under 21 team, it's under 19s for the UEFA Youth League, but either way, Heskey certainly has had an impact, Regan Heskey. Well, I guess you'd say he's completed the set now. Goals for the under-18s, and now goals for the under-21s in the UEFA Youth League, the EFL Trophy, and now Premier League 2. And he's there with a cross, and that's a brilliant save to deny Okiki. Wonderful involvement again from Heskey. Terrific volley from Okiki, and an excellent save by Finch in the Norwich goal. That's a brilliant save. Really is. Oh, what an eventful start to the second half. That's gone out of play, by the way. It'll be a Norwich throw. Well, 5 minutes into the second half, we've seen a goal and a brilliant save. City now have a 2-goal advantage. Well, Norwich will be feeling a little sorry for themselves. They took control of the first half. Had City on the back foot for long periods, but the Blues have come out, and Regan Heskey has given them a 2-0 lead. Here's Umfuni. Watmuff. Should be a Norwich ball. Came off Okiki last. JJ G. Tomkinson. Warner. Mundell-Smith tackled, but it's Okumo gets hold of it. Now Bridge. Warner. G. Tomkinson. Okumo. Now Forbes. Aim for a Guru.
Mundell-Smith took a tumble, and then I think he handled it. So it's a free kick to the Blues. Well, he thought he'd been fouled for a penalty, so he touched the ball with his arm, and City get the free kick. Elaine, Jaden Heskey, Will Dixon. Jaden Heskey. And now his brother Regan trying to return the compliment. And G clears at the expense of a City throw. Well, does he? Did it cross the line? Yes, it did, just about. Regan Heskey, now Okiki, Wilson Esbrand, Elaine, Alpha Ruprecht, Jaden Heskey, trying to flick it back to Alpha Ruprecht, who's penalised. Ben Wilkinson opted to make that half-time change. Don't know if it was an injury, but he brought on Regan Heskey to replace the first half goal scorer Emilio Lawrence. And within 5 minutes, the Blues are 2-0 up through Heskey. Looks as though there might be another change afoot. Seb Naylor was going through his paces. That's given away, though. Here's Regan Heskey. Can he create something? Yes, he can! Well, what can you say? Within 10 minutes of coming on, Regan Heskey is 2/3 the way of a hat-trick. And the Blues lead 3-0. And what had been a very tight game now looks in City control. Look at the way he creates an angle to shoot, and like all good players, hits across the goalkeeper. I suspect Tom Finch in the Norwich goal may be a tad disappointed with his angles there, but let's not take anything away from Heskey. Another sumptuous finish, and the Blues lead 3-0. And having never scored in Premier League 2 before, Regan Heskey's now done it twice in 10 minutes. Well, he's now matched the number of goals that Jaden Heskey scored for the under-21s this season. Away by Wilson Esbrand. I wonder if Wilson Esbrand might be taken off, because he's only just got back into the picture again with his first start of the season last weekend. So maybe Ben Wilkinson might just give him a breather. Oh, that was a late challenge. That might be a bookable offence, you know. It was mistimed by Forbes. As Gray goes away, oh dear. It's not a great challenge, you know, by Forbes. I think he's lucky to escape a yellow card there. Anyway, Gray's okay. Layoff by Dixon. Here's Jaden Heskey. The space out wide for Regan Heskey. He couldn't, could he? He can. Oh, he nearly did. Looking for the match ball. Good save by Finch. Well, Dad Emile is a regular watcher of his two sons. And he'll be purring with satisfaction at the moment. Here's Regan Heskey again. It's a good ball towards Okiki, and there's a foul by Okiki. Well, Regan Heskey came on at half-time. He made it 2-0 within a few minutes of coming on. He made it 3-0 a few minutes later. He very nearly made it 4, just there. Well, his dad needs to get off his phone, or maybe he took a bit of video of his young son impressing. Now Norwich have a man over here. Here's Forbes. He skies it. Well, they'd worked it pretty well, the visitors. The shot was wayward. '60th minute. Half-time, when the Blues went off 1-0 up, I suspect there'll be more feelings of relief than anything else, because Norwich had long periods in control and were threatening an equaliser, but the opening quarter of an hour of the second half, my goodness, this game has been transformed. Here's Ogwuru. G. Tompkinson. G. City about to bring on Seb Naylor, who is normally a left back, which would suggest Wilson Esbrand might well be given a breather. We shall see. Here's Gray, Mfuni, Okiki, Wilson Esbrand, Gray again, Okiki once more. Worked that nicely. Here's Elaine. Samuel. I don't think Jaden Heskey was the intended recipient, but it hit him. So here comes that City change. And it is indeed Seb Naylor. And it is indeed Josh Wilson Esbrand.
Substitution for City number 5, Josh Wilson.
I think there was always an intention to give him maybe about an hour. Josh Wilson Esbrand, when he made his first appearance of the season last weekend. So with the Blues in control at 3-0, Josh Wilson Esbrand can be given a bit of a breather. And they've got a ready-made replacement in Seb Naylor. Referee Precht lost his footing there. He's okay. Manning. Cuomo. Forbes. Manning. Jeje. It's a good ball. Here's Ogwuru. Well, the first bit of defending for the substitute Seb Naylor. goes his way. Here's a lane. Samuel. Jaden Heskey. Samuel. Gray. Okiki. Regan Heskey. Brings in Samuel. Regan Heskey. Okiki. Shot charge down. Alpha Prek picks it up. Incidentally, if you're in and around the Manchester area next week, the date for your diary, Friday the 8th of November, City women's team are at the Etihad Stadium against Spurs. Could be a big night, and there are still tickets available if you want to be part of what should be a pulsating night's football. 7:30 kickoff, Friday the 8th of November. Now here comes Alpha Reprecht. It's a dangerous one. Dixon, oh, he goes in the net. The ball didn't go with him. That was an undefendable ball from Alpha Reprecht. Dixon probably can't believe that it didn't go off him and into the net. Here's Regan Heskey. Seb Naylor. Max Elaine. Cal Samuel. Charlie Gray. Nicely done. Beautifully done. Brings in Alpha Reprecht. Does that spin out for the corner? No, a throw. Well, it looked all ends up that it would be 4-0 a minute or so ago. The ball in was exquisite. Dixon hurled himself at it, just couldn't get the touch. Had he made any kind of telling contact, it would have been in the net. Here's Regan Heskey. He's done really well. Gets away from Ogwuru and G. Brings in Naylor. And the referee gets the signal that Ogwuru is in a bit of discomfort. Well, how close was he to making it 4-0? Alpha Reprecht round the outside. It's a heck of a ball. Oh, agonising for Will Dixon. Guru seems to be okay, which is good news. And indeed, he's back on the field. Here's Umfuni. Watmuff. Elaine. Dixon. Okiki. Regan Heskey. Again, it's on target. Again, it's gone in. He's grabbed a hat-trick. Can you believe it? Just over 21 minutes he's been on the field. He's taken the score from 1-0 to 4-0. I'll talk about an impact substitute. Regan Heskey, that is a night that he will never forget. His dad watching in the stands, his brother alongside him, and Regan Heskey gets his first ever Premier League 2 hat-trick.
And although Tom Finch in the Norwich goal probably should have stopped it, let's take nothing away from the contributions of this incredibly talented teenager. Regan Heskey makes it 4-0 to the Blues. Well, he's not 17 until January. Regan Heskey. He's a regular in the under-18s. This is his first Premier League 2 appearance of the season. And what a contribution. If you've just joined us, the first half was a very tight affair. If anything, maybe Norwich just shaded it. City in front early through Emilio Lawrence, but very rarely did they threaten a second goal. But in the space of 21 minutes, Regan Heskey, who came on at half-time, has grabbed himself a hat-trick and taken this game away from a Norwich team who were getting increasingly frustrated. Oh, what a night for the Heskey family. It really is a special night. There he is, centre of the picture, the former Liverpool and Leicester City and England centre forward. And he's probably messaging those who aren't here to let them know that Regan, his 16-year-old son, has just scored a hat-trick on his first Premier League 2 appearance of the season. Well, Norwich, perhaps understandably, are opting to make changes. They're bringing on Charlie Wilson and LaShawn Seeley. Billy G is one of those coming off. And Dan Ogwuru is the other one. So Charlie Wilson and LaShawn Seeley have come on. And the Blues are going to make another change of their own. And they're going to bring on Justin Aboado, himself a hat-trick scorer in the UEFA Youth League game against Sparta Prague a couple of weeks back. And he's taking the place, I think, of the ailing Charlie Gray.
Substitution for City season, the 6th Charlie Gray, replaced by 15 Justin Aboado.
Well, Gray is in the Rodri role, just in front of the back four. Aboado can play in midfield, but I can't imagine that he'll go into the 6th position. So it's going to mean a little bit of a tweak in personnel. Might be Jaden Heskey who goes back there, we'll see. Looks as though Aboado is in the hole behind Dixon. But anyway, City are 4-0 up, so they can tweak to their heart's content. Actually, just looking, it's Michael Okiki who's dropped in there into the 6 role. Heskey's still in the 8 role. "18 minutes to go." Remember, the Blues started the weekend top of Premier League 2. They're going to stay there. Watmuff came out, got a whack on the head there. Goalkeeper is in a bit of trouble. Referee rightly stops the play. He came out to make the save, Watmuff, and got a trailing boot in the head. I think he's all right. I think he's okay. That's a good sign, he's on his feet. Just watch this here. Just took a bit of a whack to the face from Mundell Smith. Nothing sinister at all in the striker's attempt to win the ball, but it's all part of the occupational hazards of a goalkeeper. The 16-year-old, I'm sure, has taken a few whacks already in his young career. Comes with the territory, unfortunately. It seems to be okay. Now, that's not a bad ball if Alpha Reprek can get to it. He does get to it! Good save by the goalkeeper. Dixon was hoping for it to be squared to him, but I think Alpha Reprek just thought the easiest thing to do would be to try to push it past the goalkeeper. It breaks for him rather kindly. Dixon wants it to be squared, but Alpha Reprek tries to guide it into the net, and City win a corner. A corner which they took quickly, and it goes out for a Norwich throw. Here's Manning for Norwich. Tompkinson. And Funny concedes the corner. Manning hits it. Oh, that was not far off the target, you know. It's a really good hit, this, by Manning. Just whistles by the post. Well, of course, our City Plus coverage is so extensive, as you well know. Delighted to bring you tonight's EDS victory, as it seems, against Norwich. Tomorrow morning we've got the under-18s in action. That's certainly worth tuning in for. And then our matchday live coverage of the first team gets underway at around about 2:45, round about that UK time, as we look forward to the first team game at Bournemouth. City under-18s, by the way, against Liverpool is at 11:30 UK time tomorrow morning. The men's team away at Bournemouth kicks off at 3. We've got matchday live from around about 2:45, and we'll have the first news of the lineup, and of course that will be very interesting to see with all our injuries currently. And our panel tomorrow, David James and Keith Curl are in the studio alongside Chris Latcham. Natalie is down in Bournemouth, and on commentary duty with me tomorrow is Michael Brown, and he'll be bringing his thoughts with Natalie pre-match and probably post-match as well. So make sure that you are across the City app, make sure you download it, and you can watch the under-18s from 11:30, matchday live from around about 2:45 UK time ahead of the match at Bournemouth. And then, of course, on Sunday, we, of course, always bring you all the news from the women's team. They're away at Crystal Palace, kicking off at 2 o'clock UK time. And we have extensive coverage, audio commentary of that game. And bear in mind as well that on Tuesday afternoon, next Tuesday, ahead of the first team game in Lisbon, in Sporting, we've got live coverage of the under-19s in the UEFA Youth League. That kicks off at 1 o'clock UK time. We've got that live for you on City Plus. And then, of course, at 8 o'clock that night, the first team are against the Sporting Lisbon team, who don't have a manager anymore because their head coach, for some reason, has decided to give up Champions League football for Europa League football. I'll have to ask Ruben Amorim what he thinks about that. It's only tongue-in-cheek, you know. Anyway, the ball is hooked forward to Will Dixon. City 4, Norwich 0. A hat-trick for Regan Heskett, son of Emile, whose brother Jayden is also on the pitch as well, Regan's older brother. What a night this has been for the Heskey family. They had played together before. You may recall they played together on another of our City Plus games live in the UEFA Youth League last year. Regan Heskey scored a penalty that day. And Watmuff might have conceded a penalty there. He has. No, he hasn't. I thought the referee had given a penalty. Watmuff coming for the ball. I think it's offside. It's offside. That's what saved Watmuff there. Mundell Smith convinced it was a penalty, but the flag up for offside. Now here's the man of the moment, Regan Heskett. I say man of the moment, he's only 16. Young man of the moment. Here's Okiki. It's nice from Okiki. It's brilliant from Okiki, and it's gone in. No, it's not. I thought it had to go in. How did that stay out? Norwich get it away. It looks all ends up. It had to be number 5. Dixon again, within a whisker. Oh my goodness. Well, just as well it's 4-0. It'll be a very frustrated look to the City head coach, Ben Wilkinson, had that not gone in. Certainly adds another ingredient to next Tuesday's game, doesn't it, in the Champions League when the Blues go to Sporting Lisbon. Ruben Amorim appointed the new manager of Manchester United earlier today, if you hadn't seen that news. Certainly one of the most coveted managers in European football. And the word on the street is that he will take the United job only after that game against City. So it'll be even more fascinating. Now City looking for a 5th goal here. Alpha Reprek tried to set up Dixon. Norwich get that one away. So another substitution for the visitors. Toby Chilvers coming on.
replaced by number 14.
Errol Mundell-Smith is coming off, and City are going to also bring on Caden Braithwaite, another 16-year-old. I think it's Max Elaine, was it? That was the number that went up.
Substitution for City coming up number 3, Max Elaine.
Yeah, it is Max Elaine.
And he's being replaced by number 12, Caden Braithwaite.
Caden Braithwaite on in his stead. '16-year-old goalkeeper Oliver Watmoff, 16-year-old centre-half Stephen Umfuni, 16-year-old winger Regan Heskey, who scored a hat-trick, and now a 16-year-old centre-half in Caden Braithwaite. Remember, this is an under-21 division. The future's bright. Many of these players, of course, will be eligible for the UEFA Youth League, which is an under-19 division, and also the FA Youth Cup, which is an under-18 cup competition. The quality that the Blues possess, you would not discount them retaining the trophy. Anyway, 6 minutes to go in this game, with the Blues looking to add more. Regan Heskey, just beyond Dixon. He's had that kind of night. That's the second time that Dixon's ended in the back of the net. He would love to put the ball into the net rather than himself. Just had one of those nights, Will Dixon. So close to getting a goal, but it's not quite materialised. Just over 5 minutes to go. The league leaders of Premier League 2 safely negotiating top spot. Naylor. Good tackle by Jaden Heskey. Regan Heskey beaten to it. And Funny. Braithwaite. And Funny. Braithwaite again. Naylor. Jaden Heskey. That's a lovely turn. Oboado. Alpha Ruprecht. And there's Dixon's goal. No, he's cursed. The flag's up. Unbelievable. Well, all I can think is that someone somewhere's got it in for poor old Will Dixon tonight. Ben Wilkinson says well played to Will Dixon, because it was what you want your striker to do. The flag spoiling his celebrations. Well, the Blues have strung together now 7 victories in a row in Premier League 2. A stunning feat, and when you think that the turnaround from Tuesday night's penalties win over Grimsby in the EFL Trophy, Tuesday to Friday, 72 hours, most of these players involved on Tuesday night. And here they are,
with just 72 hours preparation, winning 4-0 and extending their lead at the top of the table. Here's Alpha Reprecht, who didn't play on Tuesday at Grimsby because he travelled with the first team to Tottenham Hotspur. Didn't get on, but was part of the first team squad on Wednesday. Another City corner. And Norwich are going to maintain their record of never having drawn a game in Premier League 2 away from home. Has gone up against Alpha Reprecht. Samuel wins it back for the Blues. Well, it's a lengthy old trip back to East Anglia for these poor old Norwich players. It's going to feel that little bit longer as they lick their wounds. They were very much in this game in the first half. In some ways, you could possibly make a case that they were the better team in the first half, albeit City led 1-0. But Regan Heskey, with a hat-trick in 21.5 minutes as a second-half substitute, has turned this match completely into City's grasp. And we're in the 90th minute. Short from Samuel, picked off by Seeley, but won back by Umfuni. Now here's Jaden Heskey. Foul by Jeje. Umfuni. Okiki. Braithwaite. Naylor. Jaden Heskey. 4 minutes added time. It's going to make too much of a difference to this game, other than maybe offering the Blues a chance to make it 5. Their recent results, by the way, absolutely magnificent. They've won 3-2, 5-0, 3-1, 4-1, 4-1, 5-0, and now they're winning 4-0 here. They lost their opening game away at Liverpool on the 17th of August, but since then, they've been imperious. And they are well and truly cemented at the top of the Premier League 2 table. And they've already recorded more victories and have accumulated more points this season than they did throughout the entirety of last season. And by my reckoning, they've probably already got enough points to qualify for the end of season playoffs, which the top 16 occupy. Of course, they'll not want to rest on those laurels. But that is how Premier League 2 is determined these days. Top 16 into the playoffs. So even if you come top in the regular season, doesn't mean you're champions. Here's Alpha Reprecht. Dixon, who's had a fairly unlucky night, I think we can say. If anyone deserves a change of fortune, it's Will Dixon. And that's a terrific save to deny Samuel. Well, Cal Samuel has licence to roam from that right-back position. He netted his first goal away at West Brom last weekend. He was looking for his second there and very nearly got it. Jaden Heskey wins it back. Try to find Dixon. Naylor. Funi. Oliver Watmoff has worked hard for his second successive clean sheet tonight, certainly in the first half. Okiki. Alpha Ruprecht. Time for one more chance, maybe. Okiki. Regan Heskey. Dixon! Yes! So pleased for him. Just when you thought he was never going to score, he has the perseverance to find the back of the net. And there's a hat-trick and an assist for Regan Heskey in the second half. I'm so pleased for Will Dixon because he was so unlucky on a couple of occasions, had a goal ruled out for offside, but he kept plugging away. And courtesy of Regan Heskey's unselfish knockdown, Will Dixon rounds off tonight's scoring. And what a second half Regan Heskey's had. A hat-trick and an assist. And the Blues bang in 5 for the second successive weekend. Well, what a magnificent night for Ben Wilkinson's under-21s. They have beaten Norwich City by 5 goals to 0.